I know everybody, it's Kelly and Heather with Real Conversations with Kelly. And we started talking about butterflies and how they change identity.
Mhm.
I was sitting here and Heather and I were talking, and I thought, wow, what are we going to talk about this week? And I looked up and I looked at my butterfly picture and I was like, wow, why don't we talk about butterflies? Because they have such an identity shift going from a caterpillar into transforming into a butterfly.
Right. And it fits really good because we've been talking a lot about our women's dream circle events and how we're getting women together to create massive change in their life, which is identity shifting and making their dreams happen. And so we thought, how cool is that, that it can really lead us to the same type of change that a butterfly goes through? Because it goes through a lot of pressure. Because as you mentioned at one point when we were talking, that caterpillars are on the ground with 1,000 legs. Do they really have 1,000 legs? I don't know. I don't know. 100 legs, 50
You know,
legs.
100 legs, a
I don't
thousand
know.
legs, it's all
Yeah.
perception.
Yeah, I don't know how many legs truly, so don't quote us on that and send us hate mail because I'm not quite sure. But a lot of legs, and you had mentioned how that they're crawling and they see things at such a level, and I thought that was interesting. They only see something so down low,
Right, right.
but they know they have something deeper inside, which obviously is all instinct and is the way that was meant to be. And then they go into that form of changing in the chrysalis. And then, boom, with the pressure of the cocoon and the pressure of changing, and they really, every cell in their body changes. And then out comes,
Biological
yeah,
perspective,
yeah.
literally. And they
Hmm.
know that they're about to change and they need to crawl up the tree or, onto a branch and, really surround themselves so
Hmm.
that they
Hmm.
can take that metamorphosis travel, if you will.
Yeah, it was cool because you and I had gone on a business trip to Key West and we went to a butterfly conservatory and
Yeah.
we actually saw all this, all the different stages. It was
Mhm.
really cool. And we
It was
walked
so
around
awesome.
all these butterflies flying around and saw them towards the close of the day when in fact, I remember the tour guide was like, hey, I have to apologize. You guys are coming towards the end of the day and they're all going to go to sleep. And you and I looked at each other and went, they go to sleep? They put themselves to bed? Oh, that's cool. But what was so neat about it is we got to see them so up close because
Mhm.
they literally attach and they just close their wings, or some of them were quietly opening and closing, and then they were just going to go to sleep. It was the coolest thing. But
Yes.
this was our inspiration
Yes.
for metamorphosis.
And I looked it up because I'm like, how does metamorphosis, how does that pertain to humans?
Hmm.
Because, we don't metamorphose because
Yeah, yeah.
metamorphosis basically is what the butterfly does. But it says humans do not undergo biological metamorphosis, but they experience continuous physical growth and profound psychological transformations
Mm,
throughout life.
I love that. Profound psychological transformations throughout life.
Boom.
That is huge. And we could talk about how, yes, we know we go from an infant to walking to talking to school age to teenage to adulthood. But when we talk about the psychological changes, especially as we are more and more delving into the realm of identity shifting, that that was key for us. And this is where our conversation was leading.
Right. Because it's like that. when the butterfly comes out and it, comes out of the pressure
Hmm.
of, when the cocoon opens and it's taking its legs and it's moving and it's like, I know that I'm going to get there. And then finally it comes out, which is what we saw at the conservatory. We saw different stages
Hmm.
and actually saw some butterflies that were coming out of their cocoon. So
So cool.
amazing.
Yeah, it was
So
really cool.
amazing. And and then they just took off.
Hmm.
It's like they
Hmm.
automatically knew how to fly. Imagine you taking the first step towards what you want most in life, what you've
Hmm.
been dreaming about, and then you take the next step and the next step because it keeps flowing. And all of a sudden, it's like you're flying.
You know what I was just thinking too is how cool the analogy of a butterfly, once it becomes a butterfly, will never be a caterpillar again. So if you take that and you apply it to your whole identity shift, this is what we're seeking, right? We're seeking new identities, we're seeking new aspects that allow us to live our dreams and into a place where that old person, the person 5 days ago, 5 minutes ago, it literally no longer exists. Like you don't have that I don't, it's not a capacity, but you don't have those characteristics anymore. It doesn't fit within who you are. Just like a butterfly will never be a caterpillar again. Never. And that's what you're looking for.
Right. Right. And you mentioned capacity. It's almost like you have emptied your cup
Hmm.
and you have turned it back up, and now you're going to fill it back up with something different.
Yes. Yeah. So we're always
Okay.
creating higher and higher pressure with capacity. And isn't that
Right.
amazing too?
Right. And then once we hit that point, and I feel like the older we get and the wiser we get, the more things that we experience, the more when what we put in our cup, it almost like it just goes with the flow. It just starts flowing.
Mm.
You feel the flow happening. And you're like, wow, where has that been? And some people get this earlier in life. I didn't.
Yeah. We were starting to. I mean,
We
in
were
this
starting
journey,
to.
30
Right.
years of in process, we had little jumps along the way, but definitely in our stage of life where we are now, our capacity is growing. So our wings can expand even bigger, brighter, higher depths. And here, I think here what it is, the fear leaves.
Oh,
Not the uncomfortable, but the fear leaves. Because just like what you said, when the butterfly comes out, it knows it's going to be okay and it just goes off and flies. And isn't that where we want to be in our life too, where we know we're going to be okay? The fear is gone and we just step out into that faith and trust and knowing that that's where we're going.
right. And another thing I thought about that is when a butterfly is born, there is no mother. There
Mm,
is there
mm,
is
mm,
nobody else that is there to say, take your wings and fly.
mm-hmm,
You know what
mm-hmm.
I mean? And
Yeah.
so that is
Mm,
where the human, the physical growth and the psychological expansion advantage that us as beings have. We get to have community
mm-hmm,
and we get to get together with other people that are shifting and moving. and allowing themselves to listen to their higher self and listen to God so that they can move to their best self at that moment. Not that you already haven't been your best self, but now,
Mhm.
like, you can expand even more.
Into the ever-changing psychological stages.
It's, you know, you can quantum leap. You can do it slowly. You can,
Mhm.
you decide. You just have to move.
I think I'm tired of the slowness. I'm
Yes,
I'm opting in for the quantum leaping.
I am too. Well, apparently I am because it has collapsed time and I have been on the train, girl.
Mhm.
Go
So we
ahead.
get to choose really how much time it's going to take us. We can get on the slow train, or we can become so in tune with our own identity shifting by relying on community, by listening to different um, talks, different information, by always bringing stuff in so that we don't have to be on the slow train if we so desire. We can be on the fast train to where we collapse time. Explain that for a moment for some people who might not understand what collapsing time actually means.
So once you start taking the first step, um, it actually opens a door. And once you take the first step and the process of where God wants to take you, it just starts happening. And it's not, it's going to take 2 or 3 years. It is going to take 2 or 3 months.
Mhm. It's like a point A to point B. This is where
Correct.
you are. This is what you say you want or what you're beginning to know you want. So what you're saying, what I'm hearing you say is the moment you decide, you take a first step, that puts you into the door, puts you into the game. And if you stay within that game, it doesn't have to take the 2 to 3 years to get to that point B because when you start to, and this is where, right, the embodiment and becoming and that you are. So you are that butterfly now. You can't go back to being the caterpillar. You are that butterfly, then everything that comes that butterfly's way, boom, 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 it just starts to be pulled to you. Versus, I
Yes.
don't know, I'm gonna stay a caterpillar a little longer. I like this cocoon. The color of it inside is really nice. I feel warm and cozy. It's gonna take forever unless you decide, step through that door and shoo.
Right.
Okay,
And it moves. And
gotcha.
look what happened when I started talking about that. I went into my prayer hands.
Hmm.
And so whatever you pray for, wow,
Hmm.
it will take you there. And it might not look like what you prayed for. It will be better.
Yeah, I love that. Having the faith that it just will be the best possibility, the best opportunity. And maybe, as you say, it doesn't look like a thing of what you had planned on it to look like, but dang, so much better.
So much better. Absolutely. And that's what we do at our dream circle.
That's right.
And it is just going to start. I mean, it's great right now, but it just gets better every week as we're putting all the content together and really feeling into the space. Oh my gosh, it it is just going to grow. Our next one is June 6th, and that's in the Mid Cities area in Bedford. And so, you women out there, okay, 10 a.m. to 12.
That's
Two
it.
hours. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then you've got the rest of your weekend, and you've started it off going, wow,
Empowerment. You started it off in an
yes,
empowering situation in community to move you
you
closer
you
to your goals.
Correct.
Dreams.
Correct.
I like dreams better than goals.
Yes. Yes. Or intentions. Your
Mm, I like that
intention.
too. Hmm.
Yes. So we would absolutely love to see you at the Dream Circle because it is women gathering to talk about where they want to be, what
Hmm.
they want to do, and maybe what's getting in the way, and somebody else is experiencing that too. That's the key. Other people are going through this. And
Hmm.
what's the worst thing that could happen? You have an aha moment. You go, wow, I haven't thought about that in years.
Hmm.
And you get to experience it with other people. You get to experience it with other women that are doing the same thing, moving forward in their life.
Hmm. And when we're in the energy of togetherness, you almost can't not move forward in a quicker of a collapsing of time. And honestly, here's I was just thinking about this too. We're forming this community and we have new people joining every month. And those who stick around are the ones that are really going to be doing a lot of shifting. And those are the women that you want to stick around to be in their presence. Because all the other people, and there will be some who will fall off because they're not ready. And that's okay. We're always going to be there for when you are ready. And the ones who are there, you're gonna want to be around and come and bask because it's going to be inspiring, it's empowering, and it's going to usher you into your dreams.
It'll rise you
It'll
up.
rise you up. I love that.
It will rise you up. And gosh, it'll give you that strength to just keep going and moving because we're all shifting. We all come into contrast,
Mhm.
which is, that's my word for problem, challenge. We're all going to have that in our life. And it just depends. You decide how you're going to react to it. And
Mhm. Mhm.
we help. We help. So once a month, Dream Circle, Women's Dream Circle, Mid Cities, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. If you want to come and you are not on our list, please just respond here and let us
Yeah,
know.
put it in the
That would be
chat. Say,
great.
hey, I want to come, or send us
Yes.
a yeah, or send us a note. You can at
Or
info at
send us an email
kellynewland.com.
at info@kellynewland.com. Yeah, that would be great. And then we'll get you on the list. We'll send you all the information and we'll see you on Saturday, June 6th. Can't wait. So excited.
Until
All right.
then, until then, get your cocoon going.
Yes.
Start
Yes.
changing.
And start breaking out. And thank you so much for joining us this week. We really appreciate it. And in love and gratitude.